got the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wait, the neighbors up.
Hello guys,
Hi.
Welcome to our channel. We are the Jet Lag Lacies. So we have been living in Australia now for a little over a year, haven't we?
Yeah, just over a year, but it's been super hectic.
Yeah, it's
hasn't
been
it?
absolutely crazy. So we started this channel in 2023 and honestly like life has just been really busy for us. Been finding a job and like places to live and then working because we both work like shifts, so we haven't really had time to vlog. So hopefully in 2025 we're able to do a bit more videos.
Okay, so if you want to see more Australia videos, then make sure you subscribe. But today, yeah, we're going to go out to one of our favourite spots in Sydney and do a video on 10 reasons why people move to Australia and why you should consider it too.
Alright guys, so we have arrived. So this is probably one of our favorite spots here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so quiet, it's so nice.
Yeah.
It's a little swimming area, which is, what do you call it, like netted,
yeah.
you know, because of the sharks around here. There's a little swim spot, there's lots of like places to have a picnic.
Yeah, so this is Barangaroo. So it's a little park. You got the metro that gets here as well, and it's very quiet, especially during the week. So you get away from the business of Sydney and stuff, and you can have lunch here and stuff, and everyone is so chill, and you get like a harbour bridge over there, and it's a really nice place.
And we've been here just over a year now. We came here November, just right at the end of November 23, on a 190 permanent residency visa. You got a job pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And my job, we'll go into our jobs another time, but we basically both work shifts. Peter works on the healthcare, I work on the railway. So it's full-time shift work, so it's been really busy the past year, hasn't it?
Today we're going to give you top 10 reasons why people are moving to Australia, especially those from the UK. You might have seen loads of people are moving across to Australia. So why is that, and why we move, and probably why you should consider moving.
There's a lot of people out there that still ask the question, like they have this yearning to come to Australia, and it's really loud because of the signal.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have these questions, and they're just like, oh, we want to move to Australia, but why did you move? And you know, is this still the right is this the right pathway for us?
Yeah.
People are asking all the time, like, oh, why did you move here? Why did you move here? Why did you move here? And we say the same things over and over again. So we thought we'd just do a video and just share our experience of like the reasons why we moved. Obviously, we can only speak from the UK, but we try not to compare the UK and Australia and just give our reasons.
Probably we could do another video of that, on UK versus Australia.
Because we have like pros and cons to living here in Australia, but that's for another video.
Yeah, so keep in mind, this is coming from perspective of us on the 190 permanent visa.
And this is our opinion.
Yeah, so this is not, so you see a lot of videos on working holiday visa and people coming here on working holiday visa, and why they come here to Australia. And a lot of times they're a lot younger people, a young crowd, we're in our 30s. We're here to settle down permanently, so this is from someone that's actually trying to set a life here. So it might be a different perspective from someone that's on a working holiday visa. Okay,
so obviously being a Brit, the number one reason to why we moved and to why most people move is the weather. It actually said it was going to thunderstorm and rain today, but all of a sudden we've got blue sky and it's really hot right now.
It's probably high 20s, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very hot, very humid.
Yeah. Being here for over a year, we've experienced the summer, or last summer, spring, autumn, winter, and honestly, like, we can only talk from like New South Wales perspective, Sydney perspective, but I didn't feel like I needed a winter coat once. I think I could probably count on one hand on where I felt I needed to wear a coat, like just like a light jacket during winter. But honestly, like, if winters are like that, like every year, like I think we're happy.
Yeah, there's a lot more sunny days here. And it does get cold in Australia, but it's relative. You do climatize. So when it comes to like 10, 12 degrees, it does feel cold, but you don't need those big puffer jackets you get in Europe or anything like that.
We still have things to ship over from the UK even now. And one of those things is like our big winter coat. And honestly, I don't even think we're gonna bother at this point because we haven't felt like we need big ones.
Yeah, and it does rain a lot here.
Sydney, yeah.
Yeah, it rains more in Sydney than in London. So sometimes you get like 2 weeks of sunshine and you get like a week and a half, or even 2 weeks of rain.
Which is what it's just been.
Yeah.
Christmas and New Year was beautiful, absolutely stunning. And then we had like a week of rain and thunderstorms, but it's still pretty warm.
Yeah, it is pretty warm. Yeah, but overall, like the weather is so much better here.
And if you're like me in the winter, like back in the UK, it gets dark at 3 p.m. Or it makes me so miserable, like a lot of people I think. And I haven't felt like that. Like there are cloudy days and you think like, oh, it reminds me of back home, but that like soon passes and then next thing you know it's sunny and you're sitting here at Barangaroo.
Yeah, that leads on to number 2 reason why you should probably move to Australia is the outdoor lifestyle here. Like because it's more sunshine, more sunny days, people are definitely more outdoorsy here. So if you like the active lifestyle and being more outdoor and having walks and things like that, there's definitely a lot more things to do. People are definitely more active. They like walking and doing running at like 5, 6 a.m.
So early.
Yeah, there's so many coastal walks all across Australia. People like swimming at like 5, 6 a.m. aren't they?
Surfing, going for a surf.
Yeah.
By the time because we don't live near the beach, which we're hoping to obviously change that this year, but we get up early, we head all the way down to the beach, and we might get there at like 7:30 and people are already done, finish their surf, going for a coffee, and then getting ready for work.
Yeah. But yeah, if you like the outdoor lifestyle, being more outdoor and having more things to do outdoors than being stuck inside in the rain or in the cold, like Australia is definitely one for you.
Like we've been on so many walks.
Yeah.
Like we've been way more active, like doing things like outside all the time. Okay, so the third reason I would say definitely a lot more safer here. And again, this is depending on where you live, where you come from. I never used to like walk even to the shop. I used to get in my car, lock my car and just drive everywhere because I didn't feel comfortable walking. Whereas here, I have no issues like walking by myself. Even at night, obviously I'm not stupid, I'm gonna go walk down like a subway by myself, but I work shifts. Sometimes I finish at like after midnight, get the train home, and then it's a short walk back to the apartment and it's fine. Like, touch wood, it's fine, but I definitely feel like a hell of a lot safer here.
Yeah, we're like originally from the West Midlands, so things can be a bit rough especially where we live. There's like stabbings everywhere. But don't get us wrong, like Australia has its own crimes. Every other city has its own crime, but in terms of feeling safe, we definitely feel a lot more safer here. You feel a lot more like you're able to walk around more. People seem to be a bit more friendly. Whereas like in the UK sometimes you look at the wrong person.
Yeah, in the wrong way. Or like just look at in their direction and it's trouble.
So it definitely feels a lot more safer. So it comes to number 4 is work-life balance. So what I mean in work-life balance is not in terms of, from our perspective, not in terms of working short hours. Look, we work pretty much the same hours, don't we?
Yeah, I feel like I work more here. I mean, I'm going through a traineeship at the minute, and back home I was working 4-day weeks. But again, 4-day weeks is not usual in the UK. That was just like my circumstance, and that was a hell of a lot better than what I'm doing now. I do feel like I'm working a lot more now. But that's because I'm doing this whole training. Once the training is finished, then it will be a lot better. It's just getting through this first year.
So in terms of like work-life balance, what we need is like people here appreciate your time more. So like in the UK, especially me working in healthcare in NHS, so say you finish at 5, you kind of like obligated to like kind of stay behind, or you kind of feel bad for leaving all the mess and all the handover and stuff. But here, it seems like literally, you finish at 5, people are out the door at 5. You won't see them after 5 unless they're getting paid overtime or anything. People would like just leave, which is great. Like it's not like they're leaving a mess or anything, but they're tied up and everything. But by the time they're 5, everyone clocks out, everyone leaves to go home, and there's no sense of like pressure or anything from management or anything.
If you were to like leave late, they were like what are you still doing?
Yeah, there's been time literally where I'm training in a hospital, and they were like, "What you guys do? What are you doing here?" Like it's like yeah, it's like 5 minutes before we
home.
leave. Like we should be logging out and everything. So which is really really great. So it seems like people do appreciate your time more.
So going on to number 5, tying into work. We earn a lot more here, and I think that's the general consensus. And I know people say like Australia is more expensive to live. The job that I used to do back in the UK, if I was to do it here, you're talking double the salary. The job I'm doing now, with the training, obviously I'm on more money because it is a different job. It's sort of like a promotion, but it's a lot more. You're on a lot more. Compared to back home.
So I used to work in the NHS, and I was
What band was you?
I was a top of band 5, but now like I'm pretty much doing the same job, and I'm getting like management pay in comparison to
the UK.
To the NHS. And then on top of that, you get these things called penalty rates.
The penalty rates here,
which everyone loves here.
Like honestly, I don't know what happened in the UK. Like whether the unions and things got rid of it back in the day. But you work a Saturday and you get extra. You work a Sunday, you get even more. You work a bank holiday, you get paid extra. You get like a day in lieu type thing as well. Like you can claim the day.
So yeah, the penalty rate definitely adds up a lot, and it really boosts your salary quite a bit. So yeah, for our line of work, you definitely get paid well better. But like Jade was saying, like you do, like there are a lot more higher expenses here. But honestly, living here for a year, especially in Sydney, where one of the most expensive places in the world, like it just comes and goes. Like one's higher, one's lower, but it all balances out. And overall, we are able to save a lot more.
Like even we lived with my parents back home, and so we could save for Australia and save for this process. And here, obviously, it's the first time that we're all actually paying like a fortune in rent, bills, everything. But we're still saving. We're still like going out and eating out and things like that. But we're still saving. And we do see people online say they could never save in the UK, and yet here they're saving a lot more. So go on to number 6 now is the sense of belonging. So this is especially true for me, someone that's from Southeast Asia. So I'm originally from Thailand. I moved to the UK when I was 8 years old. But anyway, like here overall, especially in Sydney, I noticed there's a lot more Southeast Asians around here. So in the UK, there's not a lot of Southeast Asian, especially Thai people in the UK. Yeah, in the West Midlands. We can only speak for the West.
Yeah. So in London it might be a little bit different. But even then, so like even when I go up north, like to England, like I would get stares and stuff like that, and it just feels a little bit awkward.
You felt out of place in a lot of different areas in the UK. A lot of the times it was uncomfortable. But here you don't feel uncomfortable.
No.
We don't get funny looks for being a multicultural relationship.
But over there, like in the UK, we do sometimes get stares because it's not very common in the UK to see obviously this sort of relationship. Whereas in Australia, especially in Sydney, there's so many of Southeast Asians, so many Thai people, and there's so many restaurants like in terms of Asian restaurants and that. And I just feel like there's a lot more sense of belongings here. I feel like I'm not out of place and everything. There's a lot more relationships that are like ours, so we feel like we blend in a bit more, don't we?
Yeah, we don't stick out like a sore thumb anymore. We don't get funny looks.
So when I was editing the video, we completely miscounted. I had top 10. We actually skipped number 7. So I was like, where's number 7? So yeah, the number 7 on the list will be the healthcare system in Australia, and it's pretty good here, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we come from the UK, so we have the NHS, which is one of the best things about the UK. But if you're coming from a country that doesn't have like a national healthcare system, like Medicare is really, really good. Like
for example, so I had a pinched nerve like a few weeks ago, and then the doctor's been closed for Christmas and New Year's. They don't have a booking system, but some do. So I waited an hour because obviously they're being closed. There's a bit of a queue. But then I went there was no rush or anything. He was seeing me, he was assessing me, and then he got like the CT scan request. And literally, I just got the request form, went online, and I booked it on the same day, and I had the CT done in the afternoon. And I asked the lady, like, when's the result be done? She said 2 to 3 working days. So next week I'll be back to the doctors to see about my CT result, and that's pretty common for us, isn't it? Yeah, like, I don't know if it's just the doctors we go to, but our GP is so good. Yeah. Like, we're used to going to the GP
back home and there's like a 10-minute slot and you can only really see them about one issue.
Yeah.
Whereas here, but like I think I've been a few times to the doctors. You've been a few times.
Yeah, we've been a few times.
We're at that age now. But he doesn't just like see you for 10 minutes. Like he really cares and he takes his time. And the first time, you know, is when we just got here and I was sorting out my medication. And I think we must have been in there like half an hour.
I was there for a while.
And he wasn't trying to rush me out the door, which is what we find back home. But again, like you have bulk billing, and you don't pay for the appointment, do you, with bulk billing?
No.
I know there's not many doctors now in Australia that do bulk billing, but you can still find it. We found it pretty easy.
Yeah.
You today like got a scan.
Yeah, and it was
went to the doctors and got a scan on the same day, which is crazy.
And it was free as well, so I didn't have to pocket out anything today. Yeah. So that's good. So that's our number 7, the healthcare system. Yeah. But anyway, back to the vlog.
So number 8, I would say it's very family friendly orientated. We found here like just basic things like, you know, the parks, like the public parks, like where we come from. They're so bad. They're full of graffiti. They've got you got like rogue teenagers taking over the parks and kids can't play. Here, there's so many amazing parks for the kids. Just your local ordinary parks are still really, really good.
Yeah.
You've got barbecues that you can just use for free.
Yeah, there's also like outdoor activities for families, especially during the summer. There's always things for free.
It's the summer holidays at the minute.
Yeah.
We went the weekend.
Yeah. There's things like outdoor cinemas you can go for free. There's like free events and concerts you can go, and there's like sporting events they have during the summer, so they show that live for free, like on this big screen, or these live concerts as well. So they have a lot of things for kids, even in the little malls and stuff. During the summer holidays at break, they have these little huts where like kids can come and do some coloring, or like there's like so like there's always little things like for kids and stuff.
Like every season, like Christmas, obviously you could meet Santa and you do like little gingerbread houses and like things like that. Like Easter, there's always things on.
Yeah.
Have like the free indoor play areas in the shopping centres as well.
Yeah. So reason number 9 is because Australia is such a big country, like it's absolutely huge. Like you can do like explore locally as well. You can go to many places in and out of the city, and like there'll be so many beautiful beaches that's hardly anybody around. There's so many like landscapes you can see. There's like wildlife you can see.
Mountains.
Yeah.
Like bushwalks.
Yeah. Like you could do like a lot of things just by driving in and out of the city for a couple of hours, and like do like a long or short weekend trips, or even like trips to like different cities and stuff. And different city has its own vibe. Yeah. For example, like Sydney is very like touristy. Like everyone thinks of Sydney is like Opera House, Harbour Bridge. Melbourne, we lived in Melbourne like, oh my god, it's like 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
10 years this year.
So it was like, we was in Melbourne for working holiday visa. We were there for a couple of months, and it has like more like European vibes, like more city cafes, little corner shops, like these graffiti arts like in the little streets. It's very like European. Brisbane, we've been there for a short period, but a lot of people say it's more family orientated. Yeah, more family friendly. Perth, Perth is just full of like surrounded beautiful beaches and secluded beaches in Perth, isn't it? But yeah, every different cities has its own little quirks and stuff. Having the weather on your side as well. Whereas like the UK, you book a 2 weeks holiday in the UK and it's 50-50, 50-50 is gonna rain or what.
Yeah, I mean, you book that caravan for the week's half term, and you could just be sitting in the caravan listening to the rain.
Yeah, so you can spend a lot of money, and like the weather is just not on your side. Whereas here, majority of the time you guarantee the weather.
So number 10, I think it's just overall better standard of living, like in Australia.
Yeah.
Like just trying up everything.
Yeah.
You know, better pay, better weather.
Yeah.
Able to go out more.
Yeah. Like people just seems a bit more like happier here. Yeah.
Not so stressy, I find.
Yeah.
People are not that stressed.
Yeah. And there's like living class crisis everywhere, including Australia. Like, you know, everyone will tell you. But from our perspective, from UK and Australia, like it's still different. Like we still feel like we're a lot better here.
I think people just need to understand, like your first year of getting here, whether you're a tradie and you need to do, you know, your qualifications for that first year, you know, whether you're like me, go through a traineeship for a year, you've just got to get through this year,
Yeah.
and then after that year, that's when you're going to earn, like, you know, the most money.
Yeah.
People just can't seem to look past that.
Yeah.
But it's working.
Yeah. So yeah, the better standard of living, it's definitely more laid back lifestyle. But people are much more relaxed here, aren't they? Very chill. Especially if you go out the city, it's very chill. There's people just walking around sometimes, especially on the coast, like barefoot, and that's just like the norm. Yeah, that's just Australia. Alright guys, so that's our 10 reasons why we moved to Australia and why everyone is moving to Australia and why you should probably consider moving to Australia 2025. We are going to be here for a while in Australia and probably permanently. You know, we're just still trying to sort out our life and everything, so this is only our first year in Australia. We're going to make more content about Australia in terms of like what you need to know, like the visa, everything like that. Also like day-to-day things and the lifestyle in Australia.
A lot of the videos that we found were mainly surrounding working holiday visas
Yeah.
and not so much at our stage of life.
Yeah.
So we want to do more content
Yeah.
for like what we,
Yeah.
when we were going through the process, we
Yeah.
could have like,
Yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to make a lot more videos regularly. So guys, make sure you subscribe to our channel and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.